Okay, I fixed it. Thank fuck. Holy shit. That was so annoying. Okay, we're good. We're not everyone can hear me? Can everyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Alright, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me now. Alright, so, like, that is the most annoying bullshit I've ever had to do, but, like, whatever. I'm over it. Alright, so... Alright, where was I? Alright, so my entire explanation has now been negated. Okay, so... Alright, so I was, for the past couple days, essentially out busy doing a celebration of my grandparents, or actually it was a week or so. I was doing a celebration of my grandparents because they turned 75 and 80 this year, if you guys have not been keeping up my community tab. So, what ends up happening is that I do that celebration, it's an entire party, it goes well, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of preparation that kind of went into that. And that's kind of where I kind of was for, like, the past couple of days. I decided to, like, do a stream tonight because, I want to do something for a while. I had to dip my toes in. Plus, also, again, just kind of doing a direct thank you for 50K because we hit that a couple days ago, which is pretty nice. It's really, really nice, and I thank you guys a lot for that. But holy fucking shit, man. Holy fucking shit. I legitimately was like, woof. I was getting pissed off here. Fishing stream, Kenuchi, yeah. Alright, actually, how many of you guys would, like, what do you guys want to watch? Because, like, I want to try something out here. Because I've been, like, consuming a lot of, college football, content for the past couple of days, because I'm a massive college football fan, but what do you guys want to watch today? Because I'm trying to find something to watch. Actually, hold on a second, there was a Naruto video I was looking for. Hold on one second. Naruto. Let's see. Oh, Barrymore kind of sucks. And we can watch that a little later. The video, it was a video talking about dynamics or something like that, right? Or why sports are so hated. I might have to look at that, but I didn't hear the greatest reputation about that video. How strong is with Kakashi with both Sharingan? We could try it, honestly. You know what? I want to look at that.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Swankage here, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think is fairly interesting, and that's the power of Kakashi with two Sharingan, often referred to as DMS.
DMS, well, yeah, dual Mangekyou Sharingan. Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Kakashi. Now, just for the sake of total clarity, the version of Kakashi I'm talking about is from chapters 688 and 689. This Kakashi had two Sharingan, could manifest the perfect Susanoo, and played an active role in the defeat of Kaguya.
I've seen scaling with DMS Kakashi kind of put him, like, even above Sage of Six Paths Naruto and Rinnegan Sasuke. But I have to, but that was like from Stuff the Program a couple years ago, so I'm not fully sure if that's still consistent, because Naruto scaling always, like, switches in between, but I think that he's at least a DMS Kakashi at this point would at least be a top 10 character in all of Naruto, at the very least, in terms of strength, because having dual Kamuis and having, like, that perfect Susanoo, is insane. It's insane. But yeah, that should probably work.
To make this video because while I've already talked about Kakashi in the past, I've never extensively talked about this version of him, and recently I've noticed a lot of people don't seem to understand just how powerful he was at this point. I think it's fairly common for people to believe he'd lose to somebody like Ten Tails Jinchuriki Obito, but I've also run into people who believe that Madara, Hashirama, and in some cases even members of the Akatsuki are stronger than him. To be
what? What? Guys, what? How would Jibito... I don't know, like... I don't know, but I can understand slightly Jibito, but, like... Madara? Like, which Madara are we talking about? Like, but not Hashirama, not Pain, or, like, members of the Akatsuki. There's just... I can't see it. I just can't see it.
blunt, none of these characters are on Kakashi's level. As a matter of fact, at this point, it's possible to argue that he was stronger than both Naruto and Sasuke.
What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? There are arguments to show that DMS Kakashi was at one point stronger than these two gods. Like, it's insane to think about it, but like, it's true. But I think I know a little bit of the scaling, but Swag might have a bit more knowledge about it, so I'm just gonna, like, sit back and see what happens here.
Now, obviously, he only had this power-up for a very short period of time, but I don't think that's relevant here because I'm a lot more interested in how strong Kakashi was when he had both Sharingan than I am in anything else. There are probably some fights that you could throw this version of Kakashi into where the time limit would be relevant, but we don't even know how long that time limit is, and the idea with this video is to prove how strong Kakashi is with the power-up before the time limit runs out anyway.
Yeah, I think, and I feel like it depends on if he's again, if you're talking about like him being around, being even stronger than Naruto and Sasuke at this point, like, it's completely irrelevant to what you think of Kakashi at that point or what time limit there is. It could be potentially a wash for a lot of characters in the world of Naruto. Like, it's just insane. Okay.
So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a crack at this. Before we talk about anything else, I want to make sure everyone knows that this power-up did give Kakashi 6 paths power. This isn't just like regular...
Yes, because Obito's eyes were enhanced by the Sage of 6 paths.
Fourth War Kakashi with an extra Sharingan. He straight up tells Sakura, and I quote, "Gaining 6 paths power enhances one's ocular powers too." Now, the thing is, 6 paths level is a pretty vague descriptor. It refers to a vast range of different power levels, all the way from Ten Tails Jinchuriki Obito up to Kaguya. But fortunately, this version of Kakashi does do quite a bit despite his lack of screen time, so it's pretty easy to deduce how strong he might be based on his performance against Kaguya.
Yeah, it's like and this is kind of where a lot of that scaling gets a bit of a judgment here. What's up, man? What's up, Behar? What's up? How you doing, man? Watch Son. What are you reading? Am I a Kakashi for saying Kakashi buys these people? You're not. DMS Kakashi, hell yeah. Sage, you should play Smash Bros. Ultimate. I actually do have the game, and if people want me to do that, that's actually absolutely fine. Chat dying. Well, now it's kind of reviving. Well, sure. Let's see.
One of the most impressive things about him is his speed. He doesn't really seem to have any trouble keeping up with Naruto and Sasuke, and he manages to land multiple clean hits against Kaguya.
Yeah. Okay, so like if this is like something that's in the manga that you can that's easily available, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell people are trying to argue that DMS Kakashi is less powerful than Jubito, Madara, and freaking Hashirama and guys like Pain, and that doesn't make any sense to me, man. It still doesn't make any sense to me. I'm still hung up on that point.
Not to mention, he's also shown reacting to multiple attacks from Kaguya, so I think it's safe to say that none of these examples qualify as outliers. Now,
Madara just gained more power, both her might and speed are now exponentially greater. Yeah, that's okay, that was a line there. And Kakashi manages to react in time with Kamui despite a stated speed increase. And if he's able to keep up with someone like Kaguya, who is probably the second strongest character in the Naruto series, and again excluding Boruto, because you know we had to go on about Ishiki and all these other guys, but at this point in top 10, DMS Kakashi would be again top 10, would at least be a top 10 strongest character in all of Naruto. And with his feats against Kaguya, you could again argue that he's again maybe even stronger than Naruto and Sasuke.
Now, his power and durability aren't as easy to quantify. As a matter of fact, doing so might be impossible. We only really have one statement to go off of, and even then, it's questionable. Naruto calls Kakashi's Susanoo more awesome than Sasuke's, which could mean...
Yeah, okay, that's a loaded statement, because, like, it's either Naruto thinks that it's stronger, or it's like, oh shit, your Susanoo looks so much more awesome than like... There's no way to figure out if if it's between like strength or anything like that, because it's just so very it's a bit more up to interpretation or whatever. But I just think it's like way too vague of a statement to like use as a quantifier of DMS's Kakashi's power.
Mean that its armor is more durable and its punches hit harder, but it could also mean that Naruto just thinks it looks cooler or has cooler abilities. It's impossible to infer anything meaningful from this without making assumptions, and like I said, this is...
And it will you be just trying to base off of like headcanon and just like, nah. Soulja Boy and Kane Vaughn only. Well, guess what? 10-5, the final fighter is going to be in Smash Ultimate. Wait, it's the final fighter? I thought it was... Yo, Anime Stage, I want to make... What recording and editing software is good for a PC? Oh, for a PC, so you actually have a PC. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. So, in my opinion, I usually use DaVinci Resolve, but if you have money, I would buy... you could probably look into buying either Adobe Premiere, which is... You can buy a lot of Adobe products for like $52 a month, though... You might, that's going to be a little bit of hell for you, so I don't know if I recommend that. Or you could buy DaVinci Resolve, which is free, or actually, well, get DaVinci Resolve and just download on your PC. And you're probably going to have hard drive space for it, too, so... I mean, as long as you play your cards right, I mean, with that PC, it's just going to be like, in my opinion, I've used DaVinci Resolve the entire time, and it's really good. So I do recommend that, but if you want to go with something that could probably give you a bit more of an advantage, or give you a bit of an edge in the field, I would go with Adobe Premiere because it's going to have a bit of a learning curve, but if you're able to master it, you can do a lot of awesome shit with Adobe Premiere.
Is really all we have, but that's okay because, in my opinion, his power and durability are irrelevant. For the purposes of determining the outcome of any fights involving this version
I see what it's going to go with, because, like, if you can't hit the dude, and if he has great reaction speed, his power would be irrelevant, because you're going to be dead before then. Especially for all the hacks that Kamui gives.
Kakashi, all that really matters is his speed. Now, that might sound weird at first, but the thing is, Kakashi can use Kamui. Both versions of it, in fact. As I've said many times in the past, Kamui is super duper overpowered.
See, what am I saying? I'm predicting this shit like I have the Sharingan. Like...
You could make a pretty strong case for it being the best offensive jutsu in the series and the best defensive jutsu in the series. Like, you can't hit a Kamui user, and you can't block Kamui either. As long as he and his opponent are relative in speed, Kakashi can dodge any attacks they throw at him, and can ignore their durability by combining Kamui with other attacks.
Yeah, and it's also not gonna be fun if you have to deal with that long range Kamui, which was shown when Kakashi's battle against Deidara. It could literally it just sent his arm into another dimension and probably could have blown his head off. Oh, God.
Something worth mentioning at this point is that when Kakashi used Kamui against Kaguya, it was the best we'd ever seen it. First of all, according to Madara, using both eyes together doubles the speed of the jutsu, which is a little crazy because it's not like Obito ever had any trouble using Kamui reactively.
No, definitely not.
So this means that the window Kakashi has to react to incoming attacks is doubled. It also means that if Kakashi uses Kamui the same way he did against Deidara, or the same way Obito attempted to against Minato, his opponent should only have half as much time to react. Reason number 2 why Kamui was better than ever here is because Kakashi showed that he could use it in all sorts of new and unique ways. For example, his Susanoo had Shuriken that teleported anything they cut through into the Kamui dimension. He could...
Yeah, though, and those are definite hacks. Like, God, that's just, insane to have.
Combine the power of Kamui with the Raikiri for a similar effect, and when...
Yep. I feel like, with the thing with, DMS Kakashi is that there might be not a lot of quantifiers for, durability or, power, but a lot of the hacks and tricks and abilities that Kakashi has with DMS is just... I don't know how you could try to argue that he's not, in a top tier of, Naruto at that point.
Using Kamui the same way he had throughout most of Shippuden, he was able to teleport away one of Kaguya's dimensional portals. Not sure how he did it, but it definitely happened. So when it comes to...
Yep. Again, this is easily available manga panels that you can look up yourself, so it doesn't make any sense to me why someone thinks that he would lose to a guy like Jubito, Madara, Hashirama, and all these other dudes, and on the Akatsuki. Come on.
To this version of Kakashi, we're talking about somebody who the rules don't really apply to. He's got everything that made Obito so crazy, in addition to the version of Kamui that we normally associate with Kakashi, and he can cast Kamui twice as...
I don't mean to, like, try to downplay guys like Obito. Personally, I think there's no reason why Kakashi Susanoo should be weaker than Itachi's no Yatamir or Shisui's in defense, but even then, it's hard to tell how much of a boost that is. Sage Uchiha. Anime Sage was King Crimson. I mean, Naruto might be able to sense it since he's a Sage, but the way his face look and the look of Kakashi, I don't think it means he's more durable. Kakashi versus Gojo. Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, if it's ZMS Kakashi, I feel like I would give that edge to Kakashi. Though I have to look up, and if we're talking War Kakashi versus Gojo, that's a bit of a tougher one. Though I think other versions of Kakashi, where Kakashi doesn't have the ability to spam Kamui 24/7, I think Gojo wins that matchup.
Is fast, and he has 6 paths powers, and he has extra Kamui abilities. So for those who are still wondering, yes, I do think he's stronger than Naruto and Sasuke. Stronger insofar as he could beat both of them in a fight, and could probably beat anyone that they could beat in a fight. Stronger is a bit of a weird word to use, because like I said, we don't know how durable he is, or what his attack potency is. But what
I just think that's, completely irrelevant, because, again, people could try to argue that all they want, but, if you can't beat someone who has, the reaction speed and the crazy shit and hacks that Kakashi has, along with the speed feats that he has, so many dudes are gonna get washed.
I'm getting at is that this Kakashi has the tools necessary to beat just about anyone else in the series. The only person who I feel comfortable saying Kakashi would lose to in a one-on-one is Kaguya, because she could teleport him to another dimension that he wouldn't be able to return to the real world from.
And probably Hagoromo, but then again, we don't really have full feats from him, except that he's the Sage of 6 Paths, which, well, that is big in of itself.
Despite how well he performed in the fight against her, it did still seem like he was relying on Naruto and Sasuke to seal her. And no, by the way, that does not mean that they were more powerful than him, it's just that they were the only ones who could use 6 Paths Chibaku Tensei to seal her.
I feel like when it comes down to it, I think that's something that a lot of people don't fully understand. Just because someone has to rely on someone to do a job, it doesn't mean that they're weaker than them. Because in this, again, as Swakage pointed out, because people would try to interpret this panel as oh, well, Kakashi needed Naruto and Sasuke to help deal with Kaguya, but that's because Naruto and Sasuke were the only ones who could do it. Kakashi doesn't have doesn't have the sun and moon seals. Are you crazy?
It's sort of like how KCM2 Naruto was more powerful than War Arc Kakashi, but Kakashi needed to be there in the fight against Obito because they couldn't
because he had freaking Kamui.
Do any damage to Obito without him. The fact that Kakashi's presence was necessary at the time isn't indicative of him being stronger than Naruto, only...
And I would hope that no one in hell is going to again try to make an assumption that just because Naruto needed Kakashi in a fight against Obito, that makes KCM Naruto weaker than freaking Kakashi. That's just so brain dead stupid.
It's the reverse case here in the Kaguya situation. Another character who might be able to beat Kakashi up is Hagoromo, sticking strictly to manga canon.
I mean, if you try to scale War Kakashi at his base, but then give him all these hacks, he's still quite strong. Yeah, he is. Holy shit.
We don't really know what he's capable of. So he might have all sorts of crazy, wacky abilities that make Kamui useless, or he might just be fast enough to make Kamui a non-issue. I'm not really sure. 6 Paths Madara is also a bit of a weird matchup, because I don't think Kakashi has any way to detect the Limbo clones, and he also doesn't have any durability feats, so if he gets hit by one of them, he might just die immediately. But if we assume he activates the Susanoo as soon as the fight begins, then he should be able to take care of Madara with a couple Kamui Shuriken. I know that
so that fight can be left up to debate because again Madara has freaking limbo hacks. Oh boy. Well, 6 Paths Madara. Not or I guess GB Madara or whatever you want to call him. But at the same time, like I just can't see how someone would just be like well Edo Tensei Madara and like regular Madara and like Hashu fucking Rama. Like, come on.
That Kakashi's actual body is significantly faster than Madara, since he was able to blitz Kaguya after Zetsu mentioned her speed increased significantly. And while I personally believe that his Susanoo should be able to move at a speed similar to that of his actual body, I can think of a few ways to play devil's advocate with that. But even considering that, I do think that there's enough evidence to suggest that Kakashi's Susanoo should at least be faster than Madara. When she was in her weird rabbit Biju blob mode, Kaguya's tentacles were fast enough that Naruto thought he should warn Sasuke about them. It's clear that he considered them a threat, and Kakashi was able to cut through them with his Kamui Shuriken, and you could say to that maybe Kaguya didn't have the awareness necessary to perceive incoming threats, since she had turned into a feral blob monster. But
Feral blob monster. Oh boy.
right after Naruto commented on the speed of the tentacles, Kakashi did swoop in with his Susanoo to save Sakura from one of them. So I think you can safely and definitively say that both in and out of his Susanoo, Kakashi is faster than Madara. It's a weird fight, and one that I'd be happy to elaborate on in its own video if you guys are interested. But in short, I think Kakashi would win, though there are a handful of different ways that you could argue Madara would take it. Setting aside his inability to perceive the limbo,
Naruto scaling doesn't always have to be like, okay, well, like, this guy's stronger than the other one, so, like, it's like, I because that is stronger than the other one, and, like, boom, 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 because, like, not only do you have to consider, like, the strength of each opponent, but you have to consider, like, speed feats, you gotta consider hacks, you gotta consider a lot of stuff, which is why I kind of like Naruto scaling a bit more, though I don't really get into Naruto power scaling that much. But I do like looking at how, I do like this type of topic, because, again, I'm a fan of DMS Kakashi.
clones, I think that Kakashi is definitely more dangerous than Madara, and would probably have a much easier time beating Naruto and Sasuke than Madara did. Given his speed, his ability to ignore any attacks thrown at him, and the fact that he can one-shot anybody with Kamui, I feel pretty confident saying that Kakashi is, aside from Kaguya and arguably Hagoromo, the strongest character in the entire series. That said,
Ooh, that would be top 3. Holy moly. That'd be top 3. But then again, like, you do gotta consider, again, Jubi Madara, which could be a bit of a 50-50 matchup. But, oh man, I would have to think about that a little bit more. But I would probably be of the agreement that he's at that point stronger than Naruto and Sasuke.
if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments or on Twitter. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I think that there's an interesting discussion to be had here, so I genuinely look forward to hearing from some of you. Now, real quick, before I get out of here, today's video is sponsored by Loot Crate, and I'm gonna be honest, I'll be a little bit surprised if most of you haven't heard of Loot.
Alright, not interested in sponsorship, blah, 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 and we're done here. Alright, so that was a decent video. It's true, yeah. Sephiroth beats Madara ass. Yeah. Can Kakashi just teleport the entire battlefield? We don't know how wide his range is. That's interesting. I had to think about that a little bit. I don't scale Final Fantasy as much, but I feel like I can only scale them close to planet level. Did something happen in the remake? If I become YouTuber, I'm sliding into your DMC if you want to make a video together. It's your boy Sauce. Okay, Kamui. Okay. Kami Line Blade on your heart, send your heart to another dimension. Oh, well, you know what? Maybe. Yeah, it definitely sends hearts to another dimension. Kind of like what Kakashi did with Ren. I'll be back in a second. I gotta go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. It's good. It pays to be in the basement and have the bathroom like a couple steps away from you. Okay. What should I look at here? Holy shit, when did this video get hit 1.9 million views? When the hell did this video hit 1.9 mil? Holy shit. That's kind of lit, not gonna lie. That's kind of lit. I'm about to hit 2 million views in that video. I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see. Pain versus Mike Guy. This is 3 years ago. And there's also like, what if Obito never gave Kakashi? Oh, that's my boy Naruto Explained. I'll check it out, actually. I don't know if I watched this. Sheesh! Bro, that intro is awesome. I love that intro.
When Obito Uchiha decided to give Kakashi his Sharingan, it changed the Naruto series forever. Kakashi went on to become a legend, being known as someone who copied over 1,000 ninjutsu with the Sharingan. The entire time that Obito rehabbed under Madara's care, he thought tirelessly of returning to the village to rejoin Kakashi and Rin. However, what if this never happened? What if Obito never gave into his moment of emotion and never gave Kakashi the Sharingan? Just how?
This kind of caused a lot of ripple effects because Kakashi, he would have probably been strong, but like, he's gonna be like a 1-9 man. But like, Obito having to calmly too, thinking about it like right now, that's so broken as hell.
How would the Naruto story change? Would it be for better or would it be for worse? Just to be clear, I'm not going to be using the moment where Obito saved Kakashi from the boulders, but instead, I'll be starting this what if right after Obito is crushed by the boulders because I find this scenario to be...
Don't roast me on a fire, then throw me in the ocean. But I believe Sakura isn't trash. I mean, she knows medical ninjutsu and has OP strength. No. Sakura's not trash. The issue is that a lot of her she has a lot of issues though as a character though. In terms of like when she if she has a lot of like different moments where she has like a lot of very not great moments that kind of put her under the microscope, including one that a lot of people will bring up constantly, which is the fake confession to Naruto, which, yeah, that was fucking stupid. And then there was like a lot of other bullshit that she could pull out throughout the entire series. And a lot of people didn't really like the fact that she wasn't really returning a lot of what Naruto's affection, because like she kept pining for Sasuke, and those are kind of legitimate facts, but kind of legitimate gripes I can understand. But Sakura isn't necessarily like trash in terms of strength. She's probably one of the she's definitely one of the strongest characters in all of Boruto right now, if we count that in all of Boruto at the moment. But unfortunately, she doesn't really have a lot of those feats that you unfortunately like, except stuff that you can see here and there. Because like she never really had like that full role to like shine, I guess, besides the Sasori fight. And I understand what Kishimoto was trying to do with that, though. I kind of understand, like, what Kishimoto was trying to be like, oh, well, maybe we can just be like, maybe we can, I can make this character become, like, go from an orphan, go from, like, someone who doesn't really have anything, and then she doesn't really have much talent, but she grows over time. That's actually good. That's a good way to establish a character, but I feel like the way that, he went about it over time kind of just left a lot of a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, which I think is something that you can have your opinion on, though. That's something that a lot of people can have their opinion on.
More intriguing than the other one, but I can do the other version if you guys are interested in the outcome, since that outcome would be different than what's in this video. So if we can hit 5,000 likes, I'll make that as a future what if video. And just as a side note, the what if Naruto married Sakura has reached the required number of likes, so I'll begin working on a part 2 to that as well. Now, with that being said, let's jump into this month's what if. So going all the way back to volume 27 of the Naruto manga, in chapter 243 when Obito gave Kakashi the Sharingan. Originally, Obito chose to do so after watching Kakashi break down into tears at his failure of allowing the boulder to fall on Obito and at Kakashi not being able to lift the boulder off of his teammate. It was hearing Kakashi state that he was a bad Jonin because he allowed Rin to get captured on the first mission and allow Obito to be crushed that Obito remembered that he never gave Kakashi a gift for making the rank of Jonin. This led to Obito giving Kakashi a Sharingan, as we all know. However, in this scenario, despite hearing Kakashi crying, the idea to give Kakashi the Sharingan would never cross Obito's mind. Instead, Obito would say nothing. His eyes would be on Rin instead of Kakashi, as Obito accepted the fact that he was likely about to die. Now, this is where the story makes its first major change. Originally, the Stone Ninja who fought against Obito and Kakashi had been sitting outside drinking and recovering his stamina. He wrongfully believed that Team Minato had been crushed to death by the boulders and was preparing to leave when Kakashi suddenly challenged him again with Obito's Sharingan activated. If you go back to the events, the Stone Ninja flat out stated that he had lost a good source of information by killing Team Minato, which further confirms that he thought that all the members were dead. It's very likely that in this scenario he leaves the scene, since he hadn't gotten any information out of Rin when he had placed on a Genjutsu, and he wouldn't have known about Team Minato's mission, so there would have been no reason for him to stick around.
I like this. I like the way that the story is this kind of is being told. Or just like an explanation as to why the events kind of turn the way they are, and it's just like I like the knowledge there. I really do. Hey, what's up, that one Weeb? How are you doing? What's up, Weeb? And Kid Sakura is trash. Is that character development by cutting her hair off with? Okay. Again, she's no. I feel like a lot of the way that like a lot of there could have been a lot of stuff that could have been done better with Sakura with her character. I'm the first to acknowledge that.
Because he believed they were all dead. No battle with Kakashi means that the other Stone Ninja don't show up, which is going to be really, really important. When you go back and look at the manga version of events, it was their combination attack that caused the earth to shift completely in a way that it caused Obito's body to be crushed by all the falling boulders falling on top of him. After several minutes pass by, Minato will likely show up just as he did originally by using the Flying Thunder God to teleport to the kunai that could—
Oh, wait a minute. Is Obito not gonna be taken by freaking Madara here? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. I like the way he like tells the story here. That's actually really good.
Kakashi was carrying around. Minato would immediately see that Kakashi was blinded in one eye and half of Obito's body being crushed by the other boulder. Minato would immediately go into Sage mode, lift the boulder off of Obito, and then teleport his team back to Konoha's base of operations during the war. The events of Naruto chapter 602 would also be altered as well, where Madara called Obito's survival a pure miracle because his entire side should have been crushed, and he said that it appeared as if Obito had passed through the boulder completely. Going by Madara's words, it really appears as if he had Obito under surveillance because he knew quite a bit about Obito before Obito even came to and before Obito started speaking. However, despite the fact that Obito's body would have been near the underground passage that Madara created, Madara wouldn't be able to act to retrieve Obito.
Oh shit, he is. Holy shit. That changes a lot. Holy shit.
Before Minato showed up to save him, and also it's very telling that Madara waited until everyone thought Obito was dead in order to try and take his body. The fact that Kakashi and Rin were there, that leads me to believe that Madara would not act. Given how careful of a planner that Madara is, I have no doubt that he would have another Uchiha under surveillance at that same time. This means that Madara would never have the seals placed on Obito and Rin's heart like he revealed in chapter 675 of the Naruto manga. This would also mean that Rin would never become the Jinchuriki of the Three Tails. With Obito now back in—
and that means that Rin has a chance to actually survive here. Holy shit. Okay, this is actually getting really interesting here. Holy shit.
in the Hidden Leaf Village, undergoing intense surgery to repair his body, and the rehab that follows in the months afterwards, Madara would finally be forced to pick another Uchiha if he hadn't done so already. I do think that Kakashi and Rin would go on to complete their mission, which would be one of the factors that led to the end of the Third Great Ninja War. However, Kakashi wouldn't be viewed as a legend. In the many years that passed, Obito would regain some of his strength and mobility, but the doctors in Konoha would likely come to the same conclusion that Madara did when he first looked at Obito's injuries, which was that Obito's body was wrecked beyond repair and that Obito's life as a ninja was essentially over with.
Shit. Fuck. Oh man, that sucks now. that kind of sucks, but I can understand it completely because Zetsu, he's not gonna have access to freaking Zetsu or anything like that. God damn it.
Unless he had extreme modifications done to him, like what Madara did when he stuck part of the Zetsu onto Obito's body. However, I do believe in a random conversation with Jiraiya that Minato would be reminded of Tsunade, and I do believe that Minato and Jiraiya could have brought Tsunade back to the village to heal Obito and do
oh shit, okay,
whatever modifications are needed in order to repair his body, be it artificial limbs that are made from something other than Hashirama cells, since Tsunade wouldn't have known about that, or some other tactic that Tsunade likely would have came up with. Most importantly, Kushina Uzumaki would never have the QB extracted from her. This would mean that Naruto Uzumaki would grow up with both of his parents, and
God damn, we going hard with this shit, man. Holy moly.
would never have been made into a Jinchuriki. Now, this is where a very drastic change occurs. No attack on the village by the QB means that Danzo wouldn't have been able to move the Uchiha to the edge of the village, which was one—
Yeah, because Danzo blamed the Uchiha clan when that shit happened. He blamed the Uchiha. This dude was like, then he decided to be like, oh wait, the Jinchuriki is Naruto, so and all that bullshit. But here, oh god, I don't know if the massacre happens now. Holy shit.
One of the last straws that broke the backs of the Uchiha clan.
You sub, my G. Holy. What the hell is going on? Wait. Why are you just like what's wrong with the chaos in this chat? I love chaos.
With Minato being alive and no QB attack, Danzo's plans to have the Uchiha
Though I advise you let's see. Though I advise what is for life. I love you probably shouldn't spam, my guy. You probably shouldn't spam. In fact, I gotta put you on timeout. I gotta put you on timeout. Like you're spamming way too much, honestly, for my taste. Oh well, it's whatever though. Fucking hell, man. There we go. Alright. Sakura making fun of an orphan in front of an orphan. She wants to hook up. Oh my god. Imagine not watching my videos. Could not be me. If you have decent videos, I guess that's fine. I mean, if you want to, that's fine. I don't know if I haven't really heard about you. Infinix. There we go. What if mean? But if I could at some point check out your content. But I've been kind of busy all day.
And wiped out would be essentially put on hold. The Uchiha wouldn't be pushed as far along to rebel. Minato would continue to take great interest in Obito's recovery, and it would be noted that he is the reason for Obito getting this operation to begin the path to becoming a ninja once again. As I've covered in other videos, Fugaku felt as if Konoha would never pass over their hate for the Uchiha and put one of them on the path to becoming Hokage. Under this scenario, Minato would do exactly as what was implied in the Naruto manga, which means that he would have taken a greater interest in Obito's development with the intention of one day making him Hokage.
Congrats on 50k, my guy. Thank you, Mike.
While
Thank you,
Danzo
Mike.
would be all too aware of Minato's intention to groom Obito to become the 5th Hokage, he wouldn't be in position to act. Seeing one of their own being put on the fast track to becoming Hokage would likely quell any of the anger that the Uchiha clan had, because their rebellion was largely founded on the fact that they hoped for change in their conditions.
God damn, this is going hard.
Kakashi very likely wouldn't go on to become an Anbu under the scenario, though it is.
Yo, anime sage read Naruto Son of Two Sonin? It's OP Naruto with realistic progression, also better. I'll read that. I actually am curious. I've read Son of the Sonin, but not Son of Two Sonin. That's interesting. All right, let's take a look at that. Let's keep going here.
It is possible that Minato places him in Anbu with hope of further pushing Kakashi to meet his full potential. Over the years, Obito and Rin would join Kakashi at the rank of Jonin. Seeing the Hokage work so closely with the Uchiha, one in particular who was well known to go out of his way to help the elderly and the helpless, would cause some of the lingering distrust towards the Uchiha to vanish over the years. In time, Obito would go on to master his Sharingan and lead a team of Genin, just as Kakashi and Rin would. However, it should be noted that Obito would not have the Mangekyo Sharingan in the scenario. Given neither of his teammates would be dead, Kakashi very likely wouldn't fail every set of Genin who were assigned to him.
God damn, this is going hard. I like this. I like the. It's also realistic as well, because like how of like a lot of these scenarios kind of are just like you're kind of creating a domino effect with this, and like Obito's now in the village, but man, give my boy Obito what he wants the most, man. Give Obito what he wants the most.
Before he was assigned Team 7, Itachi and Shisui would go on to become well-respected ninja in the village, both feared for their immense talents. Shisui would.
I like when you made What If Deku was Spider-Man. That was an awesome series. Yeah, I might try to remaster that. I have to like do a bit more. I could have done better with that series though. But I think I have a good idea of what I want to do next time I try a remaster of it.
Be known as Shisui of the Body Flicker and would be known for his genjutsu prowess. It is possible that Danzo would move to take Shishui's eye, especially if it becomes open knowledge that Shisui has Mangekyo, but I don't believe that Danzo would have this opportunity. Originally, he got the chance to do so because Shisui was being used by the 3rd Hokage to spy on the Uchiha clan. In this scenario, there wouldn't be any tension with the Uchiha, which makes Shishui's role non-existent in this scenario.
And that means he lives. God damn. My dude is about, bro. This is going hard as hell. Holy shit. And because a lot of these scenarios where, again, like the Uchiha, like tensions are no longer there. A lot of the like other and all that other bullshit, it's now gone here. And now we're getting like seeing the results of that. Holy shit.
Minato
Yo, how's it going?
transfer
What's
the
up,
power
Mantilar
of the
Force?
police department over to the Anbu like Sarutobi did, since he wouldn't be as easily influenced by Danzo and the other elders. Naruto, having both of his parents alive, means that he would grow up.
You stream on Twitch? Yeah, usually on Saturdays. I could actually expand it for a bit because I am trying to get into like partnership and whatever, so I could try that. Why not?
Extremely skilled. He wouldn't have the QB interfering with his ability to mold chakra, which means that it's very likely that he learned several of the Uzumaki sealing jutsu. In
Holy
fact, as
shit.
we are currently seeing in the Boruto anime and in the Boruto manga, it's very possible that Naruto enters the academy a little bit spoiled, but also knowing high-level ninjutsu like the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Also, with both of his parents there to train him, just like Boruto, Naruto would very likely know several changes in chakra nature by the time he becomes a Genin.
Yeah, I would probably, if it were up to me, I would probably say that it would be probably like wind and lightning or water, probably. It probably has, but then actually, you could probably give him like, it's probably like Boruto levels of like chakra control, like chakra natures or something like that, right? Because Boruto has like, what is it? Wind has like free nature transformations. Oh my god, oh boy, Boruto is insane when it comes from a strength standpoint. Holy moly, it's, like that's insane. Like I would probably seem like it would have to be like wind or lightning or like wind or water probably. I don't know.
Sasuke would likely be even more skilled as a ninja under the scenario, since his older brother Itachi would be alive to occasionally train him, but he would also serve as a constant motivation for him to get stronger. Sakura and Ino would still spend their days getting a tingly feeling in their panties whenever Sasuke did some mediocre thing that they perceived to be
Tingly feeling in their panties. God damn. Oh my god. Oh my god. God damn. Holy shit. God damn. Oh my god. Okay. So like this dude just like, oh my god. I mean, he's not Ron though. He's not Ron.
to be awesome. Hinata would still likely take notice of Naruto as she twiddled her thumbs from behind whatever dark and secluded corner that she was spying on him from behind. By the
God damn. God damn. No mercy. God damn. Oh my god.
time Team 7 graduates to the academy, if Obito's team hadn't already become Chunin, then I could very well see Minato making Obito the Jonin charged with leading Naruto's development. Due to the fact that Naruto would likely be smarter, or at least smart enough that he doesn't finish at the bottom of his class, then this changes a lot. Originally, Naruto failed the graduation exam 3 times before he finally passed. Given he would be more skilled under the scenario, Naruto very likely passes on his first try, but no later than his second attempt, which means that it's very likely that he's placed in the graduation class of Team Guy. Naruto graduating early means that
I mean, if it's just like... if it's just doing the clone jutsu, then he passes that easily because he doesn't have Kurama to disrupt his chakra control. So, yeah.
the Land of Waves arc unfolds drastically different. Assuming that Obito does hold his team back to further their development, we likely would see Naruto getting agitated and asking for a tougher mission. If his team isn't out of the village, the moment Kakashi's team is attacked, Minato would learn of the trouble befalling the Land of Waves. I believe that Minato would have his former team accompany Tazuna to the Land of Waves. Zabuza and Haku would be forced to fight Obito, Kakashi, and Rin.
Oh god, that's a death sentence. Holy shit. That is a death sentence. Like, if you're facing off against these three, like, good luck.
I believe that eventually the two of them would be defeated by Team Minato. I don't believe the Sand Village would go through with their plan for an invasion because you have Minato as a Hokage. I believe that by the time...
Actually, not just that. They have Minato as Hokage. They have Itachi as they have Itachi, Shisui, Rin, Obito. Like, nah.
the time skip occurs, Minato very likely would step down as Hokage and name Obito as the 5th Hokage. The reason being is that Naruto and his team at this point would likely have become Chunin, meaning that Obito doesn't have to directly oversee the development of Naruto. It is also worth noting that Danzo and the other 2 elders only served as the Hokage's advisors because they had a direct connection to the 3rd Hokage. I do believe...
Oh, that's true. That's true. But Minato is not going to give a fuck about that.
I believe that at this point, one of the elders would be removed from the duties to make room for Minato as an advisor. The members of Team Taka would likely still be kept as test tube subjects for Orochimaru, in particular Suigetsu. Obito's first real test as Hokage comes when the Akatsuki begin their movement.
Hey, what's up, Spice It? Shisui, Obito, Minato stack, bro. Imagine Shisui using Koro Masakami to stop the invasion. Oh, God.
Obito would be well aware of the Akatsuki, given the fact that Jiraiya would have still spied on Orochimaru and learned that he joined the group, which means that he has every incentive to tell Minato that this group is after his wife, who is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Given there wouldn't be a strong relationship between the Sand and Leaf Village, there would be no reason for the Sand Village to call the Hidden Leaf Village for help when Gaara gets captured. Given Jiraiya's ability to gather intelligence, it remains possible that Jiraiya learns of the capture of the tailed beast, especially since he wouldn't be tasked with training Naruto during the nearly 3-year time skip. However, since Jiraiya is confirmed to have spent more time looking into the details of the Akatsuki leader, I do believe that he wouldn't have learned of the capture, since his focus would largely be on learning about the Akatsuki and why Orochimaru joined them.
Okay, that's interesting. Poor Gar though. He's kind of getting fucked here. God damn.
This would mean that as the tailed beasts are captured, Jiraiya would continue his search for information on the Akatsuki leader. Hidan and Kakuzu would likely still invade the Land of Fire to collect the bounty on Chiruku. This is where things get interesting. Originally, Asuma died in this battle. However, Minato being alive changes everything. In the manga, Asuma's team fought a losing battle against Hidan and Kakuzu because they were waiting for backup to arrive. Given Minato would know about the Akatsuki being after his wife, it's very possible that Minato has each of the teams carrying kunai with his marker and
ooh, that's true. So that means, yo, Asuma can't avoid child support this time. Asuma can't avoid it. He can't avoid child support. He has to raise Mirai. Fury say secretly swallowed a hyena. I mean, that might be the case. Who knows?
Obito commands them not to engage the Akatsuki until they send word from Minato. The moment Asuma's team makes contact with the Akatsuki, word will be sent back to the village, and Asuma very likely would make the safe call to merely observe their movements until Minato shows up. When Minato finally arrives, Asuma's team likely serves as backup to Minato. I don't think anyone can foresee a situation where Minato falls in battle to each of these Akatsuki members.
Yeah, because, like, I don't care how strong think Hidan and Kaguzu are, they aren't being Minato.
He has Asuma and Shikamaru, two very brilliant minds to analyze this.
Yeah, and that's true too. You can't I apologize. I almost underestimated Shikamaru and freaking Asuma
Situation, and Minato himself is a generational genius, though Kotetsu and Izumo are too fodder in comparison.
Yeah, what's up, Sneaky? XD. Oh yeah, what's up, Diego? Alright, let's see.
And there are still two ninja who made the rank of Chunin, which is something that does need to be noted. I believe that if Minato engages Hidan first, he likely would find a way to restrict his movement. With Hidan out of the picture, an intense battle with Kakuzu would ensue. Kakuzu has multiple hearts that requires him to be killed several times over. Given Minato is more skilled than Kakashi, who managed to kill Kakuzu twice, I believe that Minato, alongside Asuma, Shikamaru, Izumo, and Kotetsu, would manage to kill Kakuzu with a very high grade of difficulty. After taking Hidan back to the village, an intense interrogation would begin, with the Ibiki likely using every torture technique that he knows to extract information, but he could also call in someone from the Yamanaka clan or the Uchiha clan to gain information. This is where yet another.
So that means the Elite would have intel on the Akatsuki right away. Interesting. And they would have essentially everything they need about what they're trying to really do or something like that. Well, based off of Hidan's knowledge, I don't know if Hidan fully knew about like the Jubito shit or the Jubi shit or whatever, but I don't know.
Part in the story needs to be addressed. Itachi's illness at this point had him near death and taking medicines to prolong his life. However,
oh fuck. Fuck. Yeah, you can't forget about that shit. Itachi's gonna die here.
However, if we take into consideration the Naruto Jinrai novel, which chronicles Sasuke's journey during the 13 days after Itachi's death and him agreeing to join Akatsuki, then it can be strongly assumed that Itachi's illness is directly related to his Mangekyo Sharingan. However,
wait a minute, so if it's related to his Mangekyo Sharingan, he might not... Oh, wait a minute, Itachi actually might live here. Wow, okay, that's interesting.
For the sake of keeping continuity intact, I'm going to assume that even though Itachi doesn't have...
well, he's not... Well, okay, he's gonna die. Fuck. I had hope here, but he's gonna die here.
Mangekyo, since Shisui never would have died, Itachi still manages to get sick. Itachi being in the village...
I am bored, so please can we do something fun? Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what would be the definition of fun, though.
village means that once again plot protection queen Tsunade Senju herself arrived with a mysterious miracle cure to save Itachi's life.
Oh, of course.
At this point, Jiraiya would come to both Minato and Obito.
So, yeah, okay, so I got that wrong. But then again, Tsunade's a god when it comes to medical ninjutsu.
With news that he has intel on the Akatsuki leader's location. This is where a very drastic change in the story would indeed occur. Originally, Jiraiya turned down Tsunade's offer to accompany him to the Hidden Rain village. In this scenario, he's more likely to accept help, most likely from Minato. If things get out of hand, Minato could simply teleport them out of harm's way. Konan could still end up confronting both of them, but I believe that Nagato would not send her out to do so until all 6 paths of pain were ready to be dispatched. Konan.
Oh boy. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Wouldn't be going up against just her former teacher, who she knew the weaknesses to his jutsu, but she would also be going against Minato, a legend from the last Great Ninja War, which is why Nagato likely plays it smart.
Oh yeah, I also forgot. You might also know where the leader is with Fidon's information, stuff like that. Well, also Jiraiya's work as well, but whatever.
6 paths of pain would very likely confront Jiraiya and Minato.
Okay, who would win that? Jiraiya and the 6 and Minato or Pain? I gotta give the edge to Jiraiya and Minato, man.
In the battle that ensues, despite not knowing the full power of their enemy and being outnumbered, the advantage still lies with Minato and Jiraiya.
Yeah.
It is important to note that
I figured.
Pain cannot use his full power while fighting in the Hidden Rain village, or else he'll end up destroying the villages.
Yeah.
Minato.
So, and Jiraiya and freaking Minato aren't really going to have to worry about that as much, but Pain does. So, because of that, the advantage is going to be fully on them. If Jiraiya was fighting Pain solo, that would have been a bigger problem for him, but not here, because he's got freaking Minato!
Has a mastered sage mode, and if Jiraiya can summon Ma and Pa Toad, he can become an imperfect sage. Between these two fighters.
Yep. So I'm gonna continue fanfics after the Legacy 2 movie. So after I do the Legacy 2 movie, which is gonna be after 41 for 43, which I'm gonna be working on, I will do Son of Sanin and Uzumaki Tales. So I would be a little bit patient with that, but those will come out in due time. Okay.
Fighting alongside each other in Sage mode, the 6 paths of pain would very easily be brought down, leaving Konan to flee the battlefield. Minato and Jiraiya would know that Nagato, Jiraiya's former student, is the one behind the Akatsuki. The smart thing to do would be to retreat with their knowledge and to meet with Obito to consider their options. Madara's disciple wouldn't be bold enough to risk yet another encounter with Minato, especially with all of...
Yeah, no. You're not gonna risk that. You're crazy if you do.
The Uchiha clan being in Konoha to help defend the village. If Kisame is sent on the mission to capture Killer B, I see no reason why Kisame and Deidara wouldn't be able to capture B, though it remains possible that Deidara's explosions attract way too much attention.
Yeah, that is a possibility. And if it attracts way too much attention, that's gonna get to Raikage, and you're gonna be in a situation where you're gonna be fighting off both a perfect Jinchuriki and freaking A.
Raikage will likely call a 5 Kage summit. It's here that I believe the disciple of Madara Uchiha would find a way to announce his intention for war, making very specific note that he has the Rinnegan on his side as well as chakra from 7 of the 9-tailed beasts. Minato would likely serve as one of Obito's guards and be able to confirm that the Akatsuki does indeed have the Rinnegan. The humor in this situation would be when Killer B is isolated with Kushina Uzumaki. B would likely see Kushina as a MILF right for being hit.
No, don't do that. Don't do what I think you're gonna do. Oh my god.
However, the moment he mentioned sliding his ox tentacle into
oh my god. Oh my god. Kushina's not gonna do. I mean, if this is a hentai, I think it would go that way, but it's not.
To her foxhole, she likely would beat the hell out of him. Orochimaru being in the Akatsuki would mean that an army of
Could you please continue these 11 streams? I know you're busy, but please just one more. Sure. You just hot milfs in your area. Okay, I'm back. What's up? What is for life?
Tensei Shinobi could still be assembled, which means that Zetsu likely leads Orochimaru to Madara's grave. By the time that the war begins, Obito would be at the headquarters with the other 5 Kage. Minato, though a powerhouse, would be enough to dispatch a platoon of Zetsu armies. However, I do believe that Minato would likely be the one to guard Kushina. Given Naruto would likely want to prove himself as being more than the son of Hokage, I believe that he would be on a platoon with several high-ranking ninja. Sasuke would likely be on a team led by Shisui or Itachi. Having the Uchiha clan fight in the war makes the battles much easier.
Yeah, because, I mean, freaking Sharingan. The freaking Sharingan is, like, just insane. And because it's not scarce, and you got guys like Itachi and Shisui, and I can't, and now Obito as well. Like, it's gonna be kind of a wash. Oh yeah, and Fugaku too. Let's not sleep with Fugaku.
Uchiha's Eye of Insight can foresee movements, and the Eye of Hypnotism can handle an army of Zetsu by placing them on their Genjutsu. Naruto would prove to be very helpful in the fight with reanimated ninja, since he would have a plethora of sealing jutsu which are taught to him by Kushina over the years.
Yep.
The members of the Akatsuki would be deployed in full force, with members like Deidara and Sasori racking up high kill rates due to Deidara's abilities to use explosions and Sasori's poison. Nagato's new 6 paths of pain would make short work of whoever faced them in battle. Madara's new disciple could order Nagato to release the 7-tailed beast into the battlefield in order to be used. The Uchiha do have the ability to control the tailed beast, but it's worth noting it takes a very high level of skill and an enormous amount of chakra to do so. And
well, to be fair, there's also someone named Itachi, but I'm kidding. He can't do that. He can't do that in the story, in my opinion.
in all of Naruto, only 3 Uchiha were shown with the ability to do so. Given there would be reanimated
there's Madara
ninja on the battlefield, a large group of Uchiha wouldn't be able to pull their collective efforts together to tame the remaining tailed beasts, and there's no guarantee that them working in tandem can subdue 1 or maybe even 3 of the tailed beasts.
There's like Obito, and then Madara, and then there's like one more that can control a tailed beast. I forgot. I gotta look at that again.
It's here that the 5 Kage would likely be called to the battlefield. Seeing the immense destruction would likely cause Obito to awaken his Mangekyo Sharingan.
Oh shit. Okay, that's where chaos begins.
It should be worth noting, there wouldn't be an army of Uchiha with Mangekyo since it is hammered home.
How do you get ideas for what ifs? I just have them coming to me because I'm a pretty creative and imaginative dude. But usually I would just like think about what you like and try to see what you would have liked to have happened in a story, and just see what you can write with that. And if it's interesting enough to make a video out of, just make it, you know?
Numerous times.
Can you read 2 fanfic? Nightfall. I like the Nightfall one, and you've recommended me the RPG Gamer one. I do like that one. I'll probably read that for my channel at some point. And you also want me to like do like to like kind of finish the story in a way, because that story has kind of been abandoned in a way. But yeah, which I wouldn't mind doing. I'll look into that.
Times in the Naruto manga that not every Uchiha has the potential to awaken Mangekyo. Obito, having both of his Mangekyo, would pose a very dangerous threat, enough so that Madara Uchiha would be likely called to the battlefield if
because dual Kamui. Oh boy.
He hasn't already been summoned. Madara, seeing his clan being led by Obito, the very Uchiha that he originally wanted to take into his own, and who is now Hokage, would stir something inside of him, but Madara wouldn't waver from his plan, which was now close to being completed. Madara's fight with the 5 Kage, which would include Gaara's father and Obito, would be one to remember. Obito's Kamui would allow him to attack from a distance while also making himself intangible for long periods of time.
beautiful.
However, when Madara uses his Rinnegan and his perfect Susanoo in tandem with the ability to use wood release, I do believe that the 5 Kage would fall, though it wouldn't be before Madara forces one of them to tell him where the 8 and 9 tails is. If for some reason Minato does arrive on the battlefield with both his wife and killer Bee in tow, it's very possible that the outcome for this battle turns out very drastically different. Shishui being alive opens the door for him to step in to use Koto Matsukami on Madara, possibly forcing him to return to the realm of the dead.
Yep, and that is why you should probably keep guys like Shisui alive.
Minato could simply fight alongside the Kages until an opening is created to steal Madara away, with an extreme case being that Minato uses the Reaper Death Seal. Due to the enormous expenditure of chakra,
Minato beats Killer V after MILF moment, then finds it was Naruto's.
having each of his 6 paths of pain, fight countless battles, Nagato would eventually need to rest, which gives time for his location to be traced and for Nagato to be defeated by the likes of Obito or Minato. Eventually, Orochimaru's location would be detected.
I don't think Kage is going to be a thing here. Cause like they're gonna beat Madara here. So, if Naruto and Sasuke aren't able to get their power ups at that point, well, I don't know if that's a possibility. But I don't think that's gonna be needed here because they just beat Madara.
Thus, the revival of Kaguya would never happen. So that's it for my video today, guys. As you can see, Obito never giving Kakashi a Sharingan actually turns out to be a good thing. I know some of you guys are asking, what about Naruto and Sasuke's clashing due to the fact that they're the reincarnates of Ashura and Indra? To that, I would say I don't think it would happen during the war, but instead much later on. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Sheesh. That was a lot. Holy moly. Hey, Sage, what's up, Kason? No problem, man. I was making Naruto Onimusha Dawn of Nightmares, but Wi-Fi cut me. Yeah, it sucks. But when Naruto learned his dad's technique, the Falling Thunder God, I think there's a possibility, but Naruto doesn't have as much chop. That's an interesting question, actually. I'll add, that has to be looked into later. Oh yeah, this video is really good.
After using the
I love this video. I love this video because Obito is so misunderstood, and it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Like, come on. Buckle up, boys. 17 minutes.
When it comes to Naruto characters, I feel like Obito Uchiha is equally as misunderstood by the Naruto fandom as Sakura Haruno is hated by the Naruto fandom. So in today's latest video, I want to take another deep dive into my Path of the Tyrant series, and in this edition, I want to take a deeper look at Obito's character. Diving right in order for us to fully understand Obito as a character, we have to go back to Obito's youth. But when we do so, this isn't just going to be your run-of-the-mill, this is how the character started out type of a video, but instead, we're going to look at it from the framework and the scope of Joseph Campbell's book titled The Hero's Journey, which is a layout of the stages that a hero in literature tends to.
I like this entire. What if Deku went back in time? That would be very interesting. Obito is just a broken hero. Yes. Yeah, some people just need to leave Obito alone. More parts of what if Luffy ate the Sunosuno no Mi. I'll look into that. What do you think of Boruto as a character? He's getting better over time in the manga. Still needs to roughs out some edges, but he's getting better. He's getting a lot better.
Go through as they progress through their story, i.e. for example, Naruto's journey starting in chapter 1 being a talentless loser to chapter 700 where Naruto is the Hokage of the village. Now every hero's journey starts out with some type of call to action and progresses through the 12 major steps of the journey. However, the Path of the Tyrant is something a little different, and it truly begins once the hero steps off of the hero's journey at some point and they begin to walk the path of the tyrant. In their
I have to look at that concept, like the Path of the Tyrant. I actually like that. That's an interesting concept. Let's keep going here though.
mind, the villain is merely the hero of their own story. They truly
Oh yeah, that's true. Everyone believes they are the hero of their own story. Everyone believes it. In real life and in fiction as well. Everyone believes they are the hero of their own story. And villains believe what they're doing is correct for a variety of reasons based on their own experiences. The heroes have their own experiences as well. And they go for this like little tug of war to show, hey, maybe that's not a good idea, man. But yes, this is absolutely correct. Everyone believes that they are the hero in their own story.
believe that what they're doing is for the greater good of the world, that they're so focused on achieving their goal that they don't see that they've begun to cross moral lines, or even worse, they're aware of the lines that they're crossing and they don't care because the end justifies the means.
Do you want to read to react to the beginning after the end later? Later. I want to do it after I finish soul leveling.
This is where the character Obito Uchiha comes into play. Despite being a relatively kind-hearted child in nature, somebody wanting to one day become the Hokage of his village, Obito, when you really look at his character objectively, was always destined to become a lost soul who spent a majority of his life walking the path of the tyrant. It would be after he awakened his Sharingan and saved Kakashi that Obito's journey to the path of the tyrant would truly begin. This stage is what I like to refer to as the temptation stage. So
Temptation stage. And he used Konosuba. God damn.
temptation stage is where the tyrant either sees something that he or she lacks or something that he or she needs in order to get more power to achieve a goal. This could be something as small as winning the affection of a woman, protecting people that you care for, or building a better world. For the case of Obito, Rin was both the light of his world as well as the catalyst for his descent into darkness. And
Yes. But it's not. But again, I want people to be very clear here. It's not the only reason why he kind of went into that little descent. Because again, you gotta consider a lot of everything else that happened in Obito's childhood. And people literally just keep making the same bullshit argument that Obito became a villain, like started the war over Rin and because he's Sim and blah blah blah. No. Read fucking Naruto or go rewatch the anime. He does not. He makes that pretty clear. Holy shit.
Rin represented all three of these triggers that exist inside of the temptation stage.
It's cool how villains see themselves as heroes to cons have been the potential. Yeah.
If you look at the manga, one of Obito's final regrets was that he never got to tell Rin about his feelings for him, which obviously Obito hoped that Rin would return. The last
Ran, like, here's one thing that does kind of like ring true, because like I want to like to be very clear here, never have regrets in life, and just be honest about your feelings about a girl or whatever, right? Because because most likely, yeah, you might feel bad about getting rejected and stuff like that, but it's at least you tried, and you're not gonna go into like these lists and seem like a fucking stalker or shit, So yeah.
This image of Rin that he saw was that his love was being saved by someone he considered his rival. This leads to the next trigger of wanting power to protect those that you care for. Obito in this moment was too weak to overcome his current circumstances. The boulders were falling on top of him. He was utterly helpless in this situation. He was too weak to prevent Rin from being kidnapped, too weak to save both Kakashi and himself, and now his lack of power seemingly would kill him, and ultimately it would keep him away from
Like, let's talk about this again. Not just Rin. Drives me fucking nuts.
Rin. Building a better world is also tied to Rin because you have moments where it becomes clear that Rin...
Bro, Obito was influenced by Madara too. Yes, exactly the case as well. And all the other bullshit that happened afterwards with like Rin getting the free kills and him witnessing that Rin dying in front of him and getting murdered by the guy who was supposed to protect her and whatever bullshit. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Rin believed in Obito from the moment that she told him that she would always be watching him, to the undertone of Minato telling Obito that they'll both become Hokage so the women that they care for would acknowledge them. Obito wanted to become Hokage. In in that world where Rin actually existed, with her ideally going from somebody that was watching him to standing beside him. Now this brings us to the next stage of the Path of the Tyrant, which is referred to as the other side, or what I like to call the fall from grace. So
The fall from grace, yes, because everyone has like a lot of villains have like those falls from grace. Because villains will have like those pure intentions, and then disaster strikes.
it's in the stage that the hero becomes lost either symbolically or literally in the chaos around them, despite the fallen hero having good intentions for what he hopes to.
And everyone hears about him, and then they get called rejected. Because here's the thing: you're thinking about it from perspective about like, what if I get rejected? If you get rejected, who fucking cares? Everyone goes through that shit. Not everyone's like a 10 out of 10 chat or whatever. Not everyone's like is gonna be swimming in pussy or whatever. No, everyone's gonna have face rejection at one point in their life. That's like that's a non-issue. And most likely, if like, especially in like a high school situation, which I should have like figured out back in my time, but if I ask someone out and fail, I only have to get a see her for like probably 4 more years. So and those years are gonna fly by quickly. So just like live in the moment and just like go for it. Like, don't just like sit and like wallowing and seem like a little bit of like a little weird. Just like make your feelings known, and if she likes you, she likes you, and if she doesn't, she doesn't. There are like plenty of fish in the sea. There are like 7 billion people on the planet.
Achieve, he either falls victim to a more powerful and more evil being, giving him the tools and power needed to make his dream a reality, or he becomes corrupted by the power that's given to him. For Obito, he initially resisted Madara's talks of a world without winners and losers. His mind was solely on getting strong enough to help Kakashi bring out the full power of the Sharingan, and with added emphasis on Kishimoto each time this was mentioned, Kishimoto made it very clear Obito wanted to protect Rin. Rin is what drove him to get stronger. She was a beacon of light during this dark time. Yet, it would be her death that pushed Obito into the arms of Madara. Symbolically, Obito made this choice when he gave into his urge to slaughter the Mist Ninja. However, I feel a lot of fans truly miss the beauty of this vengeful scene that sets up the heartbreaking moments afterwards with Rin and the deep symbolism that you get in that scene. Just as for the hero, there comes a time for a choice to be made by the fallen hero who is on the path of the tyrant. For Obito, symbolically, this choice was made when he gave into his rage to slaughter the Mist Ninja in revenge for the woman that he loved. The girl who represented so much of his heart and his innocence as a child. Though he brutally killed all of them, the amount of blood that he spilled didn't bring back the girl who Obito loved, which
yeah, and then he has that line, "I am in hell." And I believe he's going to go into a lot more stuff here, but like this is just kind of like where a lot of that, where he kind of fell from grace at this point, and despite all the blood he shed, it's not fair that he still couldn't bring back Rin at all. Or like, again, you had freaking Kakashi kill him right in front of him, sorry.
When you look at the manga version of the story,
Okay, but I disagree with the fish in the sea, because you have to hope your hook and bait work only a few are going to be compatible. Yeah, and if a few are compatible with you, then those people are going to be for you. Like, again, there's only like so many fish in a pond or whatever, but there's like 1 billion fish in the sea. Like, and you're going to find someone who's going to be compatible with you. You're not going to live a life that's loneliness, and as long as you find a way to go for it, and you at least have some form of game, some of it. You don't have to leave you like crazy, but you have to have some of it, because that's how the world works. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
You can get a very clear picture of what I mean. When Obito saw Rin's dead body, it was more than just looking at the corpse of a friend or a romantic interest. It was Masashi Kishimoto's way of symbolic.
Okay, Rin jumped in front of Kakashi's Chidori because she wanted to die, because she was worried about the Free Tails being released in the village, because she couldn't contain it. She didn't have the chakra to do so. It was like a time bomb. So it's completely irrelevant. And even if like you have that context there, it still broke Obito, because someone who he kind of saw as a bit of a beacon of life for him, because again, this guy grew up as an orphan and didn't have much going on in his life and was seen as a failure. Rin was one person who supported him during the entire time, and then she died. And that
months of training to get strong enough in order to get back to Rin had resulted in her death. Holding on to Rin was Obito desperately trying to hold on to it to touch Rin. So too was Obito's soul, also struggling to keep itself together. The way the lines on his face were drawn, twisted in agony, and the sheer brilliance of the paneling.
Man, the paneling, bro. Kishimoto's art goes hard as shit. Can we watch Shinobi Race channel after this? Maybe. I am approaching like 2 hours here. Couldn't Kakashi have knocked Rin? No, he couldn't. Here's the thing. He was using his Chidori. Chidori is like one of those jutsus that's very hard for you to kind of stop because you're coming in a straight line. Or you usually have like tunnel vision and you usually go into what's in front of you. And if something happens to get in the way of you're going to stab what's going to be in front of you. With your... So, and if you have someone like Rin or Haku jump in front of you, you're not gonna be able to stop in time. It's just like it's just physics.
In the scene moment that Obito consciously made the decision, now that his heart had been destroyed, that he will follow Madara's plan because Rin was dead. However, I find a lot of fans miss the true weight of this scene where Obito says he's gonna build a world where Rin exists again. Masashi Kishimoto reflected the carnage and blood.
A world where his humanity can be intact. Interesting.
Shed around Obito, as he stated that he was in hell. He did this as a way to mirror Obito's soul going from the kind young boy full of hope, full of high expectations, to being a full-on lost soul. When Obito says, let's create a world where you can exist again, it isn't just a dream world where Obito can see her again, like all the infinite Tsukiyomi dreams, but it's also a world free from the war and violence that separated him from Rin. And
yes, and people don't get it. There's so many people who just don't get it. There's like the war and violence that he had to go through as a child and had to see all the time, and it results in him getting separated from his friends, Sensei, and Rin, of course, and all this other stuff that was there. He wanted to live in a world where that shit didn't exist.
ultimately took her away from him. He would be creating a world in a manner that mirrored the qualities that he believed that Rin embodied due to his infatuation with her. Rin was too pure of a...
Just stop the flow of your... You can't do that if you are going full speed in front of you and you have only a couple seconds to react. This is not hard to understand. This is not hard to understand. There is a lot that goes into it. This is not hard to understand. It goes against the laws of physics. This is something that...
soul in his eyes to have existed in this world of chaos that saw children being sent to the battlefield to be killed, all in the name of furthering...
I know people want Rin to live, but there is no scenario where she lives unless the Free Tails is extracted out of her. I get it, but there is no scenario where the Free Tails, where she lives, unless she does not get the Free Tails. She does not have the chakra in her, and she's gonna want to commit seppuku because she doesn't want the village to have to deal with a freaking tailed beast.
And the goals of a nation. No, the world that Obito would build in Rin's memory would prevent another Rin Nohara from dying. This brings us to the also important step, which is called the Dark Path. Now, it's on this step that the hero is reborn into a tyrant. They master their new abilities and they overcome challenges. Everything
I literally just been like going insane
for the sole intent of them accomplishing their goal. In classic literature, this would be where a man dies only to be reborn as a vampire. But for
Ooh. And in Obito's case, he kind of got reborn into like...
Obito, this moment is when he began under his training with Madara, where Madara used Genjutsu to pass on his...
No, she could not. She does not have the chakra to do so. It is explicitly stated. You're driving me nuts. You're driving me nuts. She did not have the chakra. She is not an Uzumaki. This is not a matter of whether or not she has a seal on her. This is a matter of if she has the chakra or not. And she does not. She cannot contain it no matter what seal you put on her. Oh, God.
Teachings to Obito. It's at this point that the Obito of the past begins to take its last breaths, and this new Obito would spend years that followed mastering the abilities that were given to him, from the Sharingan abilities to the Hashirama cells to the knowledge that Madara passed down to him. Even the dark verbiage that Madara's silver tongue was able to use with Nagato, and his powers would be further tested when he used Sharingan Genjutsu to control a perfect Jinchuriki.
Oh my
and
God.
the symbolism here is very important because
I'm having fun I'm low-key having fun with this, but like, holy shit, y'all are trying to piss me off on purpose, huh? And I approve because I like it.
he used the Mizukage to bring terror to the very
If you want to try, go for it. I'm going. If you want to try to make me go crazy, go for it.
village of ninja that took his love from him and essentially changed Obito's life for the worse. Even after all these years, Rin still lingered inside of Obito. Now, this next step is where we highlight the true beauty of Obito's character. This is the phase known as rejection. Now, it's here that the hero is at the height of his powers and he's offered a chance for redemption, or an act of God moment occurs that should make him reconsider the path that he's on. For Obito, this was act of God moment was when he lost Nagato after the Akatsuki had captured most of the Biju, while also popping up on the radar of all 5 great nations. Nagato, who was the also important pawn that Obito possessed, was now dead, betraying Obito.
She doesn't have that much power to keep the Free Tails at bay. Exactly. Okay, so you're saying the Free Tails had too much chakra for Ren to hold. Yes. It's been... or she doesn't have, like, the Uzumaki levels of chakra to contain it. It's not like... And that's fine, because not every person's gonna have, like, Uzumaki levels of chakra. Uzumaki and Senju are freaks. Couldn't have Kakashi deactivate the Chidori. Oh my god, did I not already explain this? Holy shit. Holy shit, I'm about to have an aneurysm. Holy fucking shit. Y'all are really trying to piss me off today, huh? Okay. No, he cannot. He was going full speed ahead. Rin jumped in last second. He jumped in last second. There is no way Kakashi could have stopped in time. That is a split-second reaction. That is a reaction that he does not have at that point.
Sasuke, according to Obito, was not yet ready to take Nagato's
What if Rin was Uzumaki? How would that go? She would be able to contain the Free Tails.
place. Typically at this stage, the villain stubbornly pushes past the point of no return and kills whoever's in his way, in particular anyone making a push for them to give up. In this case, you also see this.
Oh my god, y'all are really trying to... Okay, y'all are... Okay, I know y'all are trying to piss me off, but I actually am finding myself creating something that's entertaining here.
It's when Konan refused to give him the location of the Rinnegan and referred to Naruto as a light, and it pushed Obito deeper down the path of the tyrant, while I believe subconsciously...
Can you stop your car at full speed before someone jumps in the way? The only thing you can do is just like have to swerve it. It's like swerve it, but someone's still gonna die. The only thing you can hope to do is in that split second you try to turn around, but someone's gonna get smacked by metal. Oh boy.
Making him recall Madara's speech about...
Or if you're a drunk driver, you just ignore all that and just run someone over.
lightness and darkness. 17 years after Rin died, a brand new light had come to replace Rin in Obito's orbit. Whereas she was the light that shined a path forward towards him doing the right things, walking the right path, Naruto Uzumaki was now the light shining through the darkness all the way through Obito.
Yeah, because Naruto and Obito are very similar based on how they grew up, but Obito is a broken hero, or a tragic hero, or more like a tragic villain, because he's what Naruto could have been if he didn't have support from people, if he got bullshit, and if he got that all that corruption from Madara and all that stuff. Like Obito is essentially evil Naruto, but it works because there's just such a nice dynamic there. Like, it's awesome.
Obito's actions and slowly guiding Obito to both his eventual defeat as well as his return to the hero's journey. The sheer brilliance in this becomes even greater and even clearer when you realize the symbolism of Naruto being a parallel to Obito, a representation of Obito's life if he had stayed on the hero's journey. Like every house that a tyrant builds, the house that Obito built was destined to crumble, because anything built on soil that was defiled with blood of the innocent and ashes from the bones of the dead is always going to crumble because it has a cracked foundation. It was through the light that came from Naruto and shined into Obito's darkness that his precious pawns in the Akatsuki were mostly wiped out by Naruto himself or by people who basked in the glory of Naruto's light. This is why Obito tried so desperately to corrupt Naruto during the war, going so far as to kill Neji in front of him, bragging.
Yep. And then Obito went in with like, yeah, you let your comrades die. Like, that was like so awesome. But like, I love that dynamic there, because like, he's just trying to show Naruto that like, this world is fucked. Why don't you join me? Because I used to be like you. Why you should see things from my perspective. I'm literally about
killing Naruto's parents and using every small advantage that came to him, trying to make Naruto step off the hero's journey, which is something that Madara noted when he noted how Obito was speaking to Naruto the same way that Madara spoke to Obito. However, the irony in this is that Obito only succeeded in pushing himself down to the next step of the hero's journey, which is called the diminishment. So it's at this stage that the villain loses their most precious belonging, whether it be a friend, a lover, or in the case of Obito, this would be a dream. Obito had crossed the path of no return by starting a war against the five great nations.
Yeah, at that point, he just like couldn't necessarily go to a life that he probably would have wanted to live, because he's like, he murdered people, what did he okay, y'all are really trying to piss me off today, huh? Oh god.
And as a result of his alliance with Kabuto, Madara Uchiha was now revived. Madara, the true owner of the Rinnegan, made it known to Obito that he expected to be revived properly by usage of the outer path, better known to fans as the Rinne Rebirth, to which Obito stated more than once that he refused to throw his life away in order to revive Madara. The reason being is that Obito wanted to be the one who became the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails and cast the infinite Tsukiyomi. He wanted to be the one who created
and that went down the drain right away.
The future world where there would be no war, no pain, no suffering, no winners, no losers. A world where innocent lives like Ren's didn't have to die. However, in the blink of an eye,
Kunoto stopped Kakashi Chidori. Well, in that, if he was there as a couple seconds before all that occurred, but Madara was kind of doing some shit behind the scenes. And, yeah, he made sure that Obito saw all that.
Obito's dream was ripped from him as he was forced to revive Madara, betrayed at the very end by the one who seduced him into the darkness. Obito was forced to watch as Zetsu was the only thing keeping him from dying after using the Rinne Rebirth. Zetsu attacked Obito's best friend and his former sensei. Even though he briefly regained consciousness and tried to make amends for what he'd done, Obito was still in the process of losing himself completely, and eventually he would cede control of his body to Black Zetsu until being discarded upon Kaguya's rebirth. Now, this leads us to the final step of the path of the tyrant, which is referred to as fate. It's in this stage that the walls begin to close in, enemies begin to come for the tyrant, which leads to either a villain being killed or destroying himself through his own actions, either literally or symbolically.
And in a way, he kinda did do that, holy moly.
It's in this moment that the villain faces themselves in the mirror, facing their own regrets, their shortcomings, their failed goals, and realizing that what they did was wrong. It's here that they wonder, was the journey truly worth it? Was it worth the pain and the suffering that was caused and endured? For Obito, after Naruto managed to extend his life very briefly, Obito knew that he was on borrowed time. Zetsu specifically stated that Obito would have died from using the outer path. he was only being kept alive because Zetsu was keeping Obito alive. When you look at it, the moment that Zetsu detached himself, Obito was well on his way to death. And if we take Obito's words literally in Naruto chapter 683, Obito flat out states that he had died. It's in the moments afterwards that a lot of fans miss this scene, where Naruto says that he healed Obito, but what a lot of fans miss is the exchange right afterwards. Naruto then stops and has a sad expression on his face and is unable to look Obito in the eyes, and he only says one word. Now that word hangs heavy in the air, with only expressions from Naruto and Obito to convey the true gravity of their meaning. Obito's face is being drawn with a very sad and weighty appearance as he looks over at Kakashi before he then closes his eyes and simply states, "I know." Those are the
Oh boy. Oh boy.
words of a man who knows that he's on borrowed time. Naruto was able to stop the effects of the 8th gate, but he was not able to stop the effects of the outer path, which we know from Naruto Data Book 4, this jutsu sends the soul of the user directly to the afterlife. For Obito, with what little life that he had, he spent it devoted to helping Naruto, which is very important, because you see, Naruto's the one who's
Naruto's the one who was able to get Obito out of the darkness. He was able to have Obito kind of see the light. He was one that kind of put Obito on a new path to redemption. And Obito was gonna try to do it with kind of like sacrifice himself and stuff like that. But Madara had to interrupt that and stuff like that. And then it was like so Obito over that course essentially was trying to do whatever he could to help out my boy Naruto. Because of his first plan kind of failed, so like you gotta go with plan B, right?
light, Obito now believed would light the way forward towards building the world that he envisioned and creating in Ren's memory. Obito understood that for all of Naruto's powers, Obito's own death could not be avoided. This is what makes his sacrifice in Naruto chapter 687 so damn beautiful, because this is Obito dying as a tyrant who's accepted the error of his ways, saying that this is the death that's fitting of a criminal. Just as Luke Skywalker removed Vader's helmet, Anakin Skywalker is the one who ended up returning in the end. So too is this the case here. Obito was dying as a tyrant, openly admitting his regrets to Naruto, but just before he passed on, a lot of fans missed this, but his final memory was of the girl that he loved taking his hand and the light that guided him for so long, Ren.
And at that point, my dude was at peace. Obito had such a good end to his character, man. He had a good end to it, honestly.
Ren would take his hand before he went into the afterlife. His final words were to Naruto, who was the new light that destroyed everything it built in the darkness after Obito lost his first light. Obito, with a smile, passed on into the afterlife, redeemed by standing in front of the new light that's known as Naruto Uzumaki. It's directly after this that Obito meets Ren again in the afterlife, too ashamed to look her in the eyes, but there's a lot more to this scene. Obito is now back in his teenage form. It's the perfect symbolism to show that the darkness of his soul had been fully removed by Naruto's light. And
I love that interpretation because, like, that's very true. Because at that point, Obito had kind of redeemed himself and everything like that. And the darkness that he had once had and his entire philosophy and stuff like that had kind of flipped. And the closest thing that you could get to that was his teenage self, because that's where he was the kind, ambitious boy that he once was. And that's kind of why he appears that way to Ren.
The reunion with Ren is even more touching when you consider this next thing. Ren was the light that guided him onto his first hero's journey. Her death was the diminishing light that led him down to the path of the tyrant, and now in the afterlife, her soul was guiding him towards the next adventure. But this time, what he desired most is what was given to him. Ren, who had watched him all this time from the afterlife, and as they stepped into their next journey, they would do so holding hands, with Ren once again guiding him forward. And that's gonna be it for this newest installment of the Path of the Tyrant. Obviously, I don't do these videos every single week or whatnot, because these videos take a lot of research, and as you guys can tell, these videos are longer than usual, so make sure you smash that like button. And I'm gonna thank the hell out of whoever edits this for me, because I know this was a monster of a video to do, so make sure.
This is freaking great. I love this entire thing. I love this video. Go sub to my boy Naruto Explain. He's fucking amazing. My dude's good at like what he does. I was really hell impressed. All right, with this entire analysis here. All right, what are we on? An hour 43. Yeah. I think I'm gonna like take it. I think I'm gonna like